Another Online Gamers Network video. Thanks for joining us here today. Greatly appreciate it. Check us out at onlinegamersnetwork.com, and let's go ahead and jump right into this No Man's Sky video that you never knew you needed but have always needed. And we're going to talk about the absolute best way and show you specifically the best way to make money, dinero, dollars, units, anything you can call it, credits. I think they're called units in No Man's Sky, but we're going to make that. We're going to make it happen, and we're going to make it the best possible way. In less than an hour, you're going to net over 75 million. You don't have to do missions. You don't have to do anything else. And it is something you've heard about before, but I'm going to show you the specifics behind the best way to make it without wasting time and with gathering other resources. So let's go ahead and jump right into this video on chlorine farming in No Man's Sky and how you should be doing it. All right, so the first thing you're going to want to do is set yourself up with a couple of refiners. You need 2 medium refiners. Now, once you do set those 2 medium refiners, you need a couple of things. You need oxygen and chlorine, because oxygen and chlorine are going to net you even more chlorine. It's like that crazy thing where they're like, I don't know how, but we combine 2 elements and we come up with a shit ton more of the first element. The funny thing is, actually, in No Man's Sky, and we'll get to this, oxygen does create more of a couple of things in this game. It's a multiplier, essentially. You lose the oxygen, but you can buy oxygen stupid cheap. So here's what we're going to do, right? We're going to go ahead and put those 2 things that we have in the refiner. If we don't have them, regardless, we're going to go ahead and go over to one of the space stations. Now, it doesn't matter which space station you go to. I recommend kind of going to one that's in your local area, or if you've tapped that one out already and you've crashed the market by selling too much chlorine, great. Jump ship, go somewhere else. There's a couple of ways I'm going to show you to make sure that you're buying enough oxygen to make this work. And I'll give you some tips at the end of the video on how to make sure that you get the starting amount of chlorine to get you kind of up to speed. But here we go, taking this long light travel over, and as you guys will see here, I'm going to chop through the video, make the next light travel much quicker so that you won't have to sit here and wait. But I want you to see this first round in an authentic time frame as well, so you see it doesn't really take very long at all. So essentially, we just traveled to our space station. We are going to run straight ahead and go to the terminal, and we're going to purchase as much oxygen as possible. I don't care what value it is. Purchase it all. It could be plus 5%. I don't care. You're going to make so much money on the chlorine that I promise you're not going to care if you overpaid for the oxygen, because that's kind of how this hack works. You'll notice that I went downstairs. I just jumped over real quick and jetpacked so I wouldn't crash, and I faced the wall. Now, I don't think you have to do this. I've tested it kind of both ways though, and I've tested it by like going around and doing other things in the meantime. And either way, like if you're facing the wall, if you go into the menu like you see here, it's for some reason like almost every time when I turn around, like 3 or 4 ships are spawning, and I think there's really only kind of a couple of minute delay, minute or 2 delay, regardless of how you're looking at it. So that should make it pretty easy. So we're going to spin around, and oh look, there's a ship. So we're going to go ahead and go over to our first one, and you'll see that these kind of spawn like one right after another, and you're going to talk to your alien friend here. They may or may not be some friendly, but it's okay. It doesn't matter, because they're still going to offer to deal with you anyway. And you're going to purchase more oxygen, as much as you can get. And that's it. You just need to purchase oxygen. You can buy other things if you'd like. You can buy ammonia. You can buy salt. Salt will turn into chlorine, by the way. And that's a hint in case you do need to make your first round of chlorine and you can't find any to purchase. We've got 2 more ships here already. 3 ships, and I probably won't make it to all, but let's see. So oftentimes you're going to make it through enough of these life forms that you're going to be able to keep purchasing oxygen. Over 2,000 oxygen this time, so a little bit better, and you just keep going, keep purchasing oxygen. Now, what I've found is by jumping from character to character, from life form to life form here, you're going to net yourself approximately, give or take, 5,000 to 6,000 oxygen between all the life forms, and you'll notice sometimes that the life form is sold out of oxygen. If they're sold out, that means you've purchased from them or a similar life form in their case before, and so the game says, oh no, this particular life form doesn't have oxygen. Well, that's okay. You can actually hang tight. and see if any of the other ships have spawned that will give you more oxygen, or you have another ship coming in. Because oftentimes, even if somebody's sold out of oxygen, your next ship or so will still have some life form that will sell you some oxygen. So again, there is no minimum amount to get. The more oxygen, the better. And most of the time, just by doing this little hack, I'm able to come out with 5,000 or 6,000 oxygen from one round of sales. And truthfully, then I don't typically waste too much more time. I look around, I see my ships there, I see somebody else is there, and oh look, one more ship just landed. Let's go ahead and just see if this guy has some oxygen. That's kind of one of the ways that I like to do things, and see if it's pragmatic to waste a little bit more time just to make it worthwhile. Boom, there you go. Look at that, 2,000 more oxygen just by wasting that 30 seconds. I'm gonna leave very quickly, back out of the menu, and you'll see that I'm gonna run over here, check this guy one more time, because this is a brand new guy as well. He may also be sold out though, again, if it was a similar life form that we just had from this same round of transport to the space station. Cool, done, he is sold out. So now we're gonna go ahead and get out of here. Get out of here. We're gonna jetpack right back up to the portal, in which case we are going to go ahead and jump in. Now once you go into your portal, you're gonna go back to your base, and you're using that base that you have the 2 refiners at, whatever that is, or wherever you've put those 2 refiners before. And for me, I call it OGNet2. That is Online Gamers Network. Feel free to sign up, join us. We are building some software, by the way, while I'm waiting for this. We're trying to build a web-based site on onlinegamersnetwork.com that is going to enable you to stream with your best friends, and or just watch your best friends while you're playing on the same dashboard. So super cool stuff. Still got a couple of kinks to work out, but we're always doing some new things, making some game art, got some t-shirts out there, some merchandise, just so that we can hopefully raise a little bit of revenue to keep going, keep making videos for you guys, keep growing our community, because at the end of the day we want to build this really awesome community. And if I could, I'd say our goal ultimately is like the Facebook version for gamers. Whatever gamers want is kind of what we're going to deliver, especially online gamers, because that's why we call ourselves OG. To be real OG, it's not super hard. We just like to play with each other, right? There you go. I'm gonna leave that alone. So anyway, we're gonna go ahead and jump up here, and we're gonna take a look at our refiners. They've been doing their thing as we were gone. If we had some chlorine and oxygen prior, and then you'll see that was a message from our little message box. I gotta take that chlorine out, I gotta put it in my bag, and I've gotta put more oxygen here. So you'll see I ran out of oxygen, and the oxygen is 2:6 ratio. The chlorine is 1:6. So for every 1 chlorine that you put in, you're gonna get 6 out. For every 2 oxygen, you're gonna get 6 out. So 6 chlorine out, I should say, is the net result here. So we're not overly spending, I'd say, to get all of this chlorine, and it just multiplies and multiplies and multiplies. And really, after you have your first 1,000 or so chlorine, you don't have to buy any more chlorine. You just want to essentially put chlorine into one refiner, put chlorine into another refiner, and make sure you have oxygen in both. Start it up. Sometimes to do chlorine in both, if you can't get it to where you have chlorine in your spaceship and chlorine in your exosuit, then you will have to make 2 trips. Your first 2 trips, make sure that the chlorine is out of your bag first, and with some oxygen in a refiner. Then you go back to the space station, and you're going to go ahead and purchase more chlorine or salt and oxygen to make chlorine. Regardless, you're going to split chlorine amongst 2, and the other option is, if you can get your first chlorine, then you can get your second chlorine just by the couple of pieces that come out of your first medium refiner. So what we're doing here on this first round is I am actually mining resources. It sounds pretty silly, but the cool thing about this hack is not only did I walk away with 75 million plus credits, or somewhere in that neighborhood, I actually walked away with a ton of resources, a ton of carbon, a ton of oxygen, a ton of like other things. Well, not oxygen, because I'm using it all, but a lot of other resources just here right around my base. So anything that's near the base, you can collect, because you're going to have a little bit of downtime even with traveling back to the spaceship. So hopefully that gives you an idea of how this is working out, and what you should be doing while you're doing this this whole chlorine farming that they say. So hopefully, again, this will really help you iron out why this hack is so quick, because I don't think anybody's really like just gone out and given you an exact formula so far to get the most resources, the most money in the shortest amount of time. Mining some resources right now again, and we're just going to keep going. We're going to go back here in just a minute, and we're going to go ahead and check our refiners. These guys are green, which means they're done. And there you go again, the website. There's a message on the inside again from the you can put up one of those cool little message trinkets that you got there. So again, what you're looking at is these medium refiners. We've got chlorine, we've got oxygen. We're netting chlorine from that, and it's going to continually net up to, believe it or not, 4,098 is the top that it'll spit out. Sometimes it's 4,095, and I haven't quite figured that out yet. Somebody can chime in with the comments if you do know. Super fantastic if you do. But again, you got some time in between here. Now we've got the refiners set back up. We're going to transfer some things to our bag, because if you haven't done it already, it's kind of nice to set up all of your things, or should I say to our starship, all of your things in a row, so that you're able to very quickly grab what you need, and you're able to go ahead and use that and line up kind of all your chlorine in a row. Now, one of the important parts of this hack that I kind of haven't told you yet, and you probably already know, that you can sell a bunch of chlorine at one time to the space station, but I haven't heard anybody specifically mention for the chlorine farm that you can actually sell up to your whole exosuit full, each slot full of chlorine at 9,999 chlorine. That's pretty crazy if you're asking me. So 9,999 chlorine each slot, and if you were to transfer everything else out of that slot, then you would be able to sell your whole exosuit at one time. You're going to crash the market anyway and not be able to buy chlorine again for a while, so you might as well sell as much as you can gather within a specified time frame that you have. I typically can't get away without putting more than 45 minutes to an hour in of quote-unquote chlorine farming, because I just get bored. So again, this is not super fun way to earn money. Go do missions, go do fun stuff to earn money. But here, look, we're back at the space station, so we're going to go ahead and go first and foremost over to this guy. You'll see he doesn't have as much oxygen this time. He only has 222, and some of you may ask, can't you use the terminal that's in your base? Absolutely. In fact, go ahead and use that as well. You'll see me use it probably once in the video, and using both terminals, you're still going to get like 145, 200 oxygen each time. But again, the real net here is every time you come back to the space station, you can pretty much get 5,000 to 6,000 oxygen to keep those refiners going while you're away, or to fill up the one that is finished if you run out, which does happen, and it's not like ideal. You'll net, that's why I say at least 75 million units. So at least 75 million units, and that would be a good thing. So here we go again. We've got our first and second and maybe even third ships landing, but let's go to the first guy, see what's going on here. And does Mr. blah 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 gesture toward the spaceship, blah blah blah, buy items from Lifeform. Look, a third ship just landed behind us. He does have 1,627 oxygen. Super fantastic. You'll hear me talking really fast because we're going to go through this as fast as we can. And going to go ahead and go over here, talk to this guy right here. He was the third to land, but oops, that's okay. Looking at the video hindsight, doing the little voiceover. And here we go. We're going to go buy items from Lifeform. I don't even care about anything else. Oxygen is what I care about. And perfect, 2,336 oxygen, and super fantastic. So we're going to leave him. We're going to go see if there's another guy, and if he still has oxygen, and if not, then we're going to go to the next guy, and the next guy, and then we're going to go back and to the space station and all the good stuff. And we're going to lather, rinse, repeat, lather, rinse, repeat, lather, rinse, repeat, lather, rinse, repeat. Oxygen, look at that. 2,336 from him as well. So we've already got more than 5,000 oxygen if you do the 1,000, 2,000, 2,000 plus the residuals of 336, 336, and whatever that first one was, I don't even remember. already more than 5,000, almost 6,000 oxygen right there. And boom, sold out. So here, if I'm smart, I'm gonna go ahead and just jump up here, fly away, and take my 5,000 oxygen, because those refiners by now are probably about tapped out. So here we go on round number 2. We're gonna go back, boom, and there we go, traveling super light speed, fast, go, go, go. All right, here we are, we're back. And there we go, we're back. So we're gonna go ahead and take this chlorine out so that we can go ahead and hit start again. You don't have to keep taking out stuff if there's still materials left in there. You just have to take out the output, put it into your suit, and hit go. Once you hit go, it will start, and then it'll start refining for you, and you'll see that both of those have it. So now I have leftover oxygen, and that leftover oxygen I'm just going to continually put into the one that runs out first, which is why I said you do have time that you can farm there. So you can go out here and you can farm, or you can basically use that time to get other things accomplished for your missions, do other things that you want to do, and go from there. So not super urgent, but it is important that you do go back to the space station every once in a while, because one of those refiners is going to run out of oxygen before the other, and you need to be able to replace it so you can keep the chlorine farming going for that 45 minutes to an hour, whatever you're going to put in. Yes, it is, it's okay, but look at how much chlorine we have right there. Oh my goodness, there's so much chlorine in this thing right now. I just need a little bit more to fill that last slot that I was shooting for. I was going for like 2 rows here of chlorine, which you can see is not even close to a full backpack. So super cool. And then when you do get back to, let's go back to that space station for the last time, right? And we're gonna go ahead and go to the terminal. So once we do walk over here to the terminal, what you'll notice is, boom, I've got oxygen that I can purchase, so I'm going to go ahead and purchase it. I always purchase oxygen now, no matter what, period, the end, if possible. Oh man, inventory is full because I filled it all with chlorine, so I forgot about that. Oops, my bad. Well, that's okay. Let's go ahead and take a look and sell all of our chlorine. So look at that. We're going to go ahead and get 74,763,608 to be exact. I only had 60 million before, not even 60 million, 59 million before selling this chlorine, and now I'm at 133 million. I spend money like it's crazy now, guys. I don't even care. I buy oxygen like I don't care either. So it could be negative 5.7% like that was right there. It could be positive 13%. As long as it's oxygen, I will buy it. Why? Because farming oxygen takes absolutely way too long. So as you guys see here, look at that grand net number at 133,876,049. And there you have it, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching the video. I hope you really enjoyed it. Thanks again for checking us out at onlinegamersnetwork.com. Please become a part of the network. It is about all of us coming together, and I'm hoping to build some things. We're hoping to build some things as a community that will help us all to have fun, including dashboards that let you see everything and all the crazy things going on out there with other gamers, where you can actually communicate and view and watch multiple gamers all at the same time. So super cool stuff going on. Check us out. If nothing else, please hit that like and hit that subscribe button. Hit the bell for notifications. Just make sure that you receive all of the information possible in case there is something that you would like to see from us, or another tip video, or anything else cool coming that we might have to show you. So thanks again for joining Online Gamers Network. Take it easy, guys, and have a wonderful day, okay? Take care. Hataboo!